Hello, Jen here, and today is class 2 of She's Crafty's mini paper pad class. So it's a 10-week class that's happening centered all around your mini paper pads. So your 6x6 and your 6x8, 10x10, 8x8. Even, people are making smaller, like 4x3 little paper pads or 4x6 paper pads, whatever those little mini paper pads you have, pull them out and let's get them used up. So I have been known in the past to be a bit of a 6x6 paper pad hoarder. For a while, I was able to get them at Winners quite a bit, and HomeSense actually, for $2.99 and $3.99, which is an absolutely stellar price here in Canada. So I grabbed them. Even if I didn't think I would ever use them, I was grabbing them because I had that kind of thought in my mind, like, what a good deal, and I just never know when I might use one piece of paper out of that pad. So I had to downsize when we adopted the boys. Definitely I lost my scrapbooking room. Now I just have a little corner in our living room. So I had to downsize, and for me, part of that was going through my paper pads and really trying to figure out why I bought them. What was it about the pad that attracted me to it? Was it just the price? Because if that's the case, I got rid of those pads. I donated them. I don't need to hold on to that kind of stuff. If it was certain papers in the collection and I didn't like all of them and I hadn't touched them in a while, I literally just went and pulled out those papers that I really liked. Sometimes you get a really good paper pad that has a lot of nice, basic, solid kind of background papers. I just pulled those all out and I donated the rest of the papers that I didn't think I would be using. And then, of course, don't worry, I held on to the ones that I absolutely love, like this Snow and Cocoa, which I can't believe I had never really touched it since getting it. I think it was 2 years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this collection, this may even be its third year that it's been in existence. I definitely got this when it first came out, the 6x6 paper pad. Why haven't I used it? I don't know. But I did hold on to this one because it's super, super cute, and this was the perfect opportunity to pull it out and get it used up. So one of the nice things about the class that Shannon has kind of crafted is lots of people are participating. So you are able to jump in and participate and show your work. There's a Facebook group, so I'll leave that link down below so you can hop in and check out what other people are doing and show what you're doing to get your paper pads used up. The other thing that I love about this is Shannon has picked a sketch to go along with each week's class. So again, you guys can get those sketches and you can use them if you want. And that's kind of a nice way to guide everybody into getting your paper pads used up. So you don't have to think about a design. You don't have to come up with that part of the layout all on your own. That's done for you through the sketch. And then the other thing I love is the rules. So what Shannon has decided is you are going to pick 5 paper pads. Along with that paper pad, you're going to pick 2 pieces of cardstock or pattern paper, but just 2 pieces of full 12x12 papers. And the goal is that you are going to make 2 layouts with each of your paper pads. So you've got 2 pieces of background paper, and then you can load it up with all of your, I'm going to keep saying 6x6 because that's what I'm using, but you know what I mean. All your mini paper pad pieces, that's what you're going to use to create the rest of your layouts. So in the end of the 10 weeks, you're going to have 10 gorgeous layouts. You're going to have put a really great dent into some of those paper pads. Hopefully you'll just keep being inspired by them and you will keep them out maybe and get even more of them used up. Or this is also a good opportunity if you have just a few of those paper pads that are kind of, on their last legs and only have a few pieces of paper in them. go ahead and pull those out and get those used up. Either way, it's a great class. You should definitely join in. And so I showed you the sketch at the beginning of this layout, and you can see here I have things just a little bit different. So one thing about following a sketch when you're using a smaller piece of paper is that oftentimes you have to play around with the scale to kind of make it work for you and work with the size of the papers you have. So my dimensions for the papers that I've used up at that top, the kind of those pattern papers that are all layered, they're not quite the right dimensions or the same dimensions as in the sketch, and that's totally fine. That's kind of the beauty of it, right? The sketch gives you the jumping off point, and then you take the products that you have and you run with them. So work with what you have. And this is probably a good time if you have a little bit of, scraps left over with some of your kits. You could really add a ton of extra layers behind that top portion of the sketch if you wanted to. I also used a pattern paper as my background because that was the 12 by 12 piece of paper that I had left over. And I love the way that the black really works, especially because Kaylin is wearing a black and white Jack Skellington hoodie. So it's kind of nice to have a bit of that bold black and white in the background to really balance out her hoodie that she has in that center picture, because I think she would have stood out quite a bit if I didn't have some sort of balance to that. And then, so the other thing I changed about the sketch is I wanted to get all of these pictures onto the layout. So in the sketch where there's a bit of a banner and then there's a title, I decided to take my 3 pictures and turn that into my banner. So I only have one large picture at the top. I cut it down a little bit, as you saw, so it's not quite 4 by 6. And then I took my other 4 by 6 photos and I cut them down. I'd say they're pretty close to 4 by 3 now. I just cut them down as much as I could and created my banner that way. And I just pulled out the pom-poms that I had that go with this collection, along with the sticker sheets and the chipboard to kind of fill in that banner. And I think it looks super cute. Pom-poms, again, are something I love them, and I bought them, obviously, but I really didn't know how I was going to use them. And I think this was just a really fun way adding them to a banner, because banners are already kind of fun and whimsical. So why not throw in cute little elements like your pom-poms and your tassels and all of those types of things. And then I also added a chipboard snowman up to the top picture there. I'm going to kind of leave that pretty plain. Other than that, I feel like there's a kind of a, busy banner down at the bottom, and the background paper is really busy because not only is it black and white and has a pattern to it, but the pattern is words, so that makes it extra busy. So I didn't want to add a ton of extra embellishments to that top section. So I just added my little snowman, and then I added a few little words and phrases, just trying to get those all used up as much as I possibly can. So that kind of created my title area over top of my banner instead of where it is in the sketch. And then I did also add Winter Joy as another little title, I guess you could say. And I will put some journaling right underneath that too. And so because I brought in that word joy and it's bright yellow, I added bright yellow twine as my little kind of garland, or my little string that's holding my banner together, and that just kind of helped to balance that a bit. And my finishing touch is some of these giant gold sequins, which I think are just so pretty. And that's it. This was actually a really simple layout, and if you follow the sketch, it is a pretty basic sketch. So I think that if you wanted to just stick to that, it's a great way to get your paper pad used up. But it also gives you a lot of opportunity to kind of keep going. So you can keep adding things. You can fussy cut stuff out of your papers, whatever you want to do to create some extra embellishment. I think this is a perfect opportunity to get lots and lots of stuff in there. And that's it. I'm all done. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out the links down below. And until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.